Yo, what is up, guys? Um, this video is gonna be a couple of different things. It's not gonna be a super long formatted one, or at least I don't believe so. But then again, I know when I get on a ramble, I get on a ramble. There are a couple of things that I wanted to talk about. A couple of things that's been on my mind. Feelings. So I hope you can indulge me in sitting here and going through our usual yapping sesh. Before I get too deep into it, I want to plug. So I know that I have uploaded a shit ton of videos, and I know that that's a whole lot of content to go through. What I want to say is, like, when I'm having these spurts of creativity and like and just upload like crazy, you know, that's where, you know, I'm not expecting a whole bunch of views, and I'm not expecting you to like religiously sit through every single like video. So it is there, and that's also why I made the playlist, so you guys can keep track and follow up on, you know, the Tomodachi life and all those different things. In terms of the yapping videos, they're just yapping videos, and that's where, you know, I think, you know, it's nice if people want to sit and listen and get like be a part of the conversation, or like can use it for whatever they need it to be, whether it is like ASMR to fall asleep, or something to listen to while you're cleaning your house or going for a walk, or whatever it is, background noise while studying, whatever it is. But yeah, I just really wanted to emphasize that if there anybody that sits back and like, oh my god, there's so many videos, I have to watch through all of them, blah blah blah. No, it's not like I'm sitting here and keeping track on people and like, oh, have you watched my video? Not at all. Like, the main focus for me with videos and with just posting stuff is just for it to be there, you know, and selfishly just to have some fun, and basically have an outlet, you know. To me, it genuinely doesn't really affect me that much. I won't say it doesn't affect me at all. That would be a lie. We don't do that around here. But it's not like something where I'm running to like my YouTube and being like, oh, how many views have I gotten today? And then, you know, sit there and keep track of that, you know. So for me, it's very much like, if it's being watched, it's being watched, you know. The only thing that like I check up from time to time, because it's like a thing in my browser. And that's also why I'm saying, like, I can't sit here and be like, oh, it doesn't affect me at all. No, it does. Like, it's obviously nice. And again, as I said, like, if anything, I love conversation. I think that's the like pull for me on Twitch, right? That I have like an audience that I can talk to and spurt conversations and stuff. But you know, that's like that's like the main thing, you know, where for me, it's about knowing that it somewhat carries something. And the beautiful thing about it is like the YouTube videos, especially, is like it carries something already because I have a creative outlet. I can talk about things, and I don't feel like even if it's not being watched at all, like it hasn't been a waste of time because it has like been. I'm a firm believer in like if it stays in your head, it's not being resolved, you know. So when you speak it, it's out there. That's also why I don't believe in when people say, oh, I didn't mean that. No, you did. You just phrased it in a way that you didn't want to because you were maybe in your feelings or whatever. But everything comes from a place, 100%. Like that's like, and that's why I love confrontation. I love uh, discussions, and especially if it gets a little heated. Like I like to push buttons because it shows people's true colors, you know. If you make someone uncomfortable enough, they will truly speak their mind. And they may present it in a way that they didn't mean to, or more harshly than what they originally wanted it to be, or whatever it is. But nonetheless, everything comes from a place of real emotion and real truth. It can just vary in terms of how much. But if it's there, it's there. You can't come up with something that you haven't manifested in one way or another. But the manifestation only happens when you speak it, and then you can adjust it. But that's also why I don't really take things personally, because it's like if someone thinks I'm an asshole, if someone thinks that I'm a bad person, that's great. And I genuinely mean that. I think that's great because it's like either you know exactly who you are and I'm just like not your cup of tea, or it means that you've gotten maybe a wrong perception, or you've gotten like word about something I did or something that I've said or whatever, and then we can have a conversation, you know. So um and that's why I'm saying, you know, these videos, no matter what, if I get like 200 views or I get 3 views or 1 view or 0 views, it still allows me to speak what is in my mind. And it doesn't necessarily mean that that's where my state of mind is or that's truly how I think or feel, but it is definitely something that is sitting there enough to the point where it should have an outlet. And the unfortunate reality is that not, well, at least for me, I'm not saying this is a universal thing. Unfortunately for me, it is that not everybody sees eye to eye on that. Confrontation means negative for a lot of people. Conversations turns into arguments and like negative things, which I'm not necessarily always agreeing with, because like even if it starts off negative, the whole goal and the whole point is to solve, right? It's to make it to a positive. I live and die by the sword of like everything good has some negative in it and everything negative has some positive in it. You know, like there's no middle ground for me personally. Like that is like the manifestation of life to me, that like no matter how we look at things and no matter how we approach them, there's, think about it, right? When you get something truly positive, what's the first thing that you think about? Well, this is great, this is awesome. What's the second thing you think about? I hope this continues. So all of a sudden now it already becomes like steering into something negative, right? It's so rare that you see people being able to just stay in the feeling of like not wanting to lose it or being fearful of it disappearing or whatever it is, if it's quote unquote luck or a person or money or whatever it is, you know. But we're like, and it's not necessarily greed, it's just we want to keep that feeling, right? And that's the same thing with addiction, right? We chase the dragon in the hopes that like we can ride that motherfucker and fly it because we feel so powerful and we feel so great and we feel so light. We don't feel the pressure of society. We don't feel the pressure of our own thoughts. We don't feel the pressure of everybody's acknowledgement and acceptance and perception and all these different things. That's really real. um I want to do like a thought experiment here, right? And you can, if you want to, you can DM it to me, you can write it in the comments, whatever you want. But truly take a second to sit with this, right? Think about one of the best things that has happened to you in the last month. It gives you a pretty wide spectrum, and you should be able to find something, right? Something that stands out in your mind where you just felt incredible happiness. Like big, big, big happiness. Now find that moment and sit with it. How do you feel about it today? Right now, as you listen to this video, what is the feeling that you have? And I'm gonna give you some time here to sit with that. Just a little bit. Because sometimes we need silence to think. So use the music, close your eyes, guide yourself through it, find it. Right, you got it? Okay. Now, maybe to my surprise, would assume that you now sit with that memory and that feeling, and it's not as heavy as it was when you got it, right? It doesn't carry the same weight, it doesn't have the same emotional value, it doesn't have like the same sweet taste mentally. That's because everything fades. That's the same thing with relations, right? Like, I think men are in many ways more capable of like not needing to constantly feed to feel the fade, but with everybody, things fade. But I think that's also why guys are like so much more adaptable in terms of, oh, I haven't talked to my friend in fucking weeks, months, maybe even. Like that's where I have some friends that like I haven't really spoken to God knows how long. But then when we talk, it's like, you know, the phrase, right? It's like, oh, I was hanging out with you yesterday. Like, that's crazy. I think that's because for dudes, like able we're able to go back and take like what it was, but then we also overload on the positive of like, oh my god, it's so fucking good to see you again, dude. Like it's been so long, right? Now, I'm not saying that everybody is sitting with the same feeling. And again, if you want to, feel free to comment in the comment section what you were thinking about and if it's right what I'm saying. And if not, and if you still want to share, you can always hit up my DMs. Now, here's the kicker, right? Let's do another one. So, for this one, you can go back a little bit further. Let's say within the last 6 months. Think about, and I know this is like thought provoking, I know this is no fun, but try to think about something that really made you upset, right? Someone, something, whatever it is. Go back and again, close your eyes. Really think and feel I know it's not fun to go back to those moments. Trust me, I have plenty of them. And sit with that. Think about it. Feel it. Now, my guess is that it still hurts. Don't really want to think about it, right? It's like a reminder of something negative. But again, it shouldn't weigh as heavy as it does. And I will say, if it does, it's because you haven't put in the work. Because you see, that is the thing. The more we progress, the more we keep going, the more we keep moving, the more we distance ourselves from things, whether they're good or bad. Right? And it's the same thing with a relationship. The more effort you put into a relationship, the more normal it becomes. That's why the honeymoon phase fades, and that's why life becomes real and you start to see things differently and everything becomes an everyday thing. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's the beauty of life, that things go back to normal. Things become a certain standard. But that's also where maturity comes in. Like, how mature are you to realize that not everything can be fucking sunshine and flowers and rainbows and stuff? And once you master that, and I don't think you can ever master that, to be honest, but I think you can excel at it and get in touch with reality. You will also be able to do that. You'll be able to have conversations where, oh, shit, this is going to be a tough conversation. But if you go in with the mindset that it's someone you love and someone you like, and you be like, I want to fix shit with this person, then it shouldn't matter if it's a negative or a positive conversation. Because even if it's a positive one, right? Like proposal, marriage, whatever, we can all go back. But that's like, if you ask a parent, what's the happiest day of your life? They'll say, when I have my kid. They don't have the same feeling now, but they look at the kid and carry that memory, and it's like, I love that kid so much, like that's my kid, right? But it will never be the same feeling. Just as when they have the second kid, it's a new experience, same type of event, but it's a different thing nonetheless, right? And that's kind of what I'm trying to take from it. Just because there's a negative in the good doesn't mean that it has to overshadow it. Not by a long shot. It can be small things, but it's like still things that are there, right? Because who would ever say that it's positive to lose a feeling of happiness, to lose a feeling of excitement? That's what we all want, right? That's what we strive to get. When we buy ourselves a new phone, when we buy ourselves a new clothing item, whenever we well, I don't drink anymore, but like when we go out and get a cold beer or get a drink or whatever, it's because it's something new, something refreshing. It's something that we hopefully don't do every day. And even if we do it every day, it's like that immediate feeling of taking that sip or eating that thing or whatever. It elevates the mindset that we were in at the beginning, right? Now, before I yap too much, because this is going to be a short one, and I've already yapped for 20 minutes. I wanted to make a plug. I have started to release more music. So currently, what you will see is, I think it's about 3 or 4 songs that I've uploaded today, and I've been working a lot on music. My SoundCloud is in the link, or in the bio. Sorry, the link is in the bio or in the description. If you're part of my Discord, I will upload there as well. And if you're not a member of my Discord, that's okay. It's pretty fucking dead. It is announcements for the most part, but hey, if you like what you see, if you like what you hear, feel free to come in, and you will get updates with every video that I release or upload, every song that I upload to SoundCloud, and when I go live on Twitch. But hey, no pressure. Anyway, I want to continue into that conversation because recently I have been talking a lot, and I know the last video I was like really vulnerable and spoke about what I'm looking for, right? Um, I know it must have sounded depressing as fuck, but and that's kind of my point. When you're in touch with reality and you understand that nothing bad comes without some good, and nothing good comes with a little bad, you learn to adapt and you learn to understand. That's why, for a decent amount of time, I was chasing that feeling. I was trying to find that thing that I seemingly can't fucking find. Um, and then I pivoted, you know, locked into my work even more, and I saw the results in that. And now I'm doing the music thing. I'm doing more offline stuff with my boys, and taking uh, an extra effort into my mom, though it was already pretty fucking high. Um, but just essentially trying to lock the fuck in, and you know try to find things that then more consistently will give me positive than negative and frustration, right? This is not necessarily that it's a negative feeling per se, but it is, I think this is what is kind of a main core issue with a lot of people. Um, that lack of understanding, that lack of looking beyond your own nose, the lack of like seeing from somebody else's perspective, even though they've told you multiple times what and why. Um, you know, and that's where, like I said, I know that I am a difficult person to be around, both as a friend and as a partner, because I require, and it is a need. It's not just a, oh, I wish. No, it's something that I need to have. It's not like, oh, I wish or I want. No, it's a need for me to be happy. Loyalty and consideration and communication. Like there's not many things that I wouldn't do for someone who gives me that on a consistent level. Um, I have been bent and broken backwards by myself to do things for people who give me that. And that is as much a partner as it is like brothers and sister. Like fucking hell, playing Jane together. Nah, I'm kidding. That's not too bad. It was fun. Um, but I would go a great deal of length to make sure that the person who shows me consistency also gets consistency from me, whether it is love or attention um, or admiration or whatever it is. I'm sorry if you heard that. I'm currently working and my work phone is just ringing. But nonetheless, I would do many things to make sure that the people I love and care for get what they deserve. And how they deserve that, I don't believe that, you know, that's a universal thing either. I think no matter what you do, and no matter what you think, like the servants, that's even a word, but deserving something, it's like not a, it's not a thing that is beyond subjectivity. I think that is an emotional weighted balance. But that's also why I think it's important to understand for yourself, like, what do you think you deserve? Because not everybody's on the same alignment as you are, and that's where hurt usually comes in, right? So if you have a partner and you believe you deserve more than what they're giving you, and you express that to them, and they refuse to collaborate with you on that, or they refuse to like even listen to it or acknowledge it, or is unwilling to put in more effort, then understand that like maybe that's just not the partner for you. Stand true to your word that you deserve more. Stand true to your own feelings and your own mindset, right? I'm not saying doing a drastic decision, because we can all sit sometimes like, oh, life is so unfair and I deserve more than this. Those moments will pass. But if you can feel on a consistent level that like, wow, I'm like wanting to put in so much effort, and I want to put in so much love, and I want to put in so much of this, but you feel like you're getting nothing in return, like, what are you doing to yourself? Like, why are you putting yourself through that? And that is a legitimate question that I've had to ask myself sometimes, because I am loyal to a fault. I am loyal to a detriment. I am willing to go through hurt, pain, to try and be patient and try to give chances and hoping for change, because I hope and manifest enough in my head that like I'm worth more. But maybe just take them some time to see it, because I understand my journey and what I've gone through, but not everybody else can necessarily understand or see that. So I'm trying even harder to prove that I'm worthy. But that is like the issue. If you go out of your way and you feel like I have to prove something to the people that I love, you're already mentally in a very, very dangerous place, and in a very, very exhausting place, because those people should never get any type of proof. You know, like if you're naturally yourself and you're owning what you are and who you are, they should already know, and they should already be willing to give you that. You know, like that's again why loyalty is so important to me, because if I'm loyal to someone, they're telling me like, oh, I'm feeling like I'm not loved, or I'm feeling like I'm not appreciated, or whatever. It's my duty, and it's a duty that I love, to go and show you that you are all of those things, that you are loved, that you are worthy, that you are like appreciated, that you shouldn't be sitting and thinking those things, because what do you mean? Like, and that's when I will have to take that on my own and be like, okay, you know what? Maybe I should get myself together. Like maybe I should show more, right? So if my partner came to me and were like, I don't feel like you show that you love me, or I feel unattractive, or do you not need me? Do you not want me? I have failed, right? And it can happen, but that's like the beauty of life. It's okay to fail, and it's okay to question things, and it's okay to be in a position where you fucked up, or you are the one who's feeling like you're being fucked over. But that's the communication, that's the confrontation, that's the discussion. That's like, and again, it's something negative that we have to turn into a positive. But change doesn't happen without effort. Actions speak louder than words, right? And it always will. So if you are with someone who keep constantly telling you that they're going to improve and they're going to change, and the thing is, everything takes time. Everything takes time, right? But if that time keeps going and going and going, and you're like not even seeing the changes happening, they're not putting in an effort. They're putting more effort into what they want to say to you than what they want to do. If they do all kinds of different things, and you start to seeing the patterns of like, oh well, but they do a change here and they changed here, and like they're a different person there, and they can make the effort and the time and all this to be around that person and those people and do those things, the truth is that you're just not prioritized. No matter how much they tell you that you're on their mind, no matter how much they tell you that you are a priority, that you are important, And that's might be true to them. But if they can't see that they're losing you because of the choices that they make, it's not for you to keep pulling at them. I hate the concept of people saying, I don't chase people. I absolutely fucking can't stand it. To me, it's such a like ridiculous attitude. Because like, first off, look at yourself. Are you the one who's creating that distance? Because then it's no longer a chase. It's you having to fucking put in some work to close the distance because you're moving away from the main objective here. More often than not, if we love somebody, we don't leave them unless we feel there's a reason to. And that reason usually has to be pretty damn fucking big, right? So it's no longer a chase, it's you catching up to what you're about to lose and asking, why am I losing you? What is it that does that we've had this distance? That's not you chasing somebody, it's you willingly putting an effort and time to figure out, why am I losing something that is, well, according to you, important, right? And that's the thing. If you have that mindset about someone or something, like, well, I refuse to chase shit, that's fair. You don't need to chase anything. But then it's not important to you. If I have somebody in my life that I feel is being distant or cold, you can bet your fucking bottom dollar that I am rushing after that person to figure out why. Why am I losing this? Why am I currently missing this opportunity? Why is this person leaving me? Because I hold them dear and I don't want to lose them. And that, again, that's where like the accountability and the understanding of like your own priorities come in so massively. That's why like there's no loss, there's no negativity in you understanding that you have put some energy maybe in the wrong places, or you've put too much energy in one place that now you lost sight of what is going on around you. It happens. We all can have tunnel vision. We all can be locked in on things that we believe are just like the most important thing for us right now. And there's no issue with that. And if that is genuinely the most important thing, that is completely okay too. But again, then we need to communicate, right? We need to be able to say to somebody or to a group or even a person, a partner, whatever, hey, so I'm gonna put a lot of effort and time into this. That doesn't mean that I love you less. It doesn't mean that I care for you less, but this is what is most important to me. And then you also have to be mature. You have to be grown enough to say, okay, if you can't live with that, that's completely fine because that's my choice. And then you like, that's like the worst thing in the world that you can do to somebody, in my opinion, that loves you, that you get upset with them for not being able to deal with your priorities. Because truth be told, if you ain't able to be adult enough to look at somebody and be okay with the fact that you hurt their feelings, chances are you didn't deserve that person in the first place. And I'm being so real about that. And again, the reason why I can say these things with confidence is because I have been through that. I have done that to other people, not intentionally. Never ever would I do that if I knew, because I care for those people, right? But there have been moments where I've had to say to people like, okay, like my mom's health is so like so bad that I need to focus and prioritize on that. Something is going on with my boys or whatever, like I need to take care of that. And that has hurt other people to the point where they've come back to me and I have been unintentionally, but still, like, I can't say unintentionally because it is a choice that I made, right? Um, but where like time ran so fast and they honestly weren't crossing my mind enough to the point where I thought like, oh, I'm actually losing these people, where they come and they like, you actually hurt my feelings, like you fucking almost broke my heart by seemingly not giving a shit. And that's a horrible fucking feeling, but you know, truth be told, like fucking own that shit, and I did, and I said, you know what, I can only be so real and tell you straight up that like that is on me. But truth be told, yeah, you weren't a priority. I'm sorry if I ever made you feel like you're worth more than I then have expressed to you over the last weeks, months. It's not that I don't like you, I'm fond of you, but um, other things were more important. It's a tough fucking thing to say to somebody who's already sad and upset, but I would rather be real and tell them straight to their face. Then I would sit there and be like, oh, no, no, it's not like that. And like, I love you so much. And like, you're like a super high priority for me. And then they're not. Why would I keep them hooked on this idea? You know, like, it's just weird to me. It's selfish. It's very selfish because you don't want to lose something. You know, your hopes are that you can like manipulate them into thinking that they are as much as you want them to think that they are to keep them around. But again, we're all different people. And that's again why I know that I am difficult. Because I don't tolerate if you tell me something. It's again, it's the same thing, right? I use this all the time. Don't hand me over one blueprint after another. Be like, oh, I intend to work on this and I intend to do that, and look at what I want to build for us, and look at what I want to build for you, and look at what I want to build for me, and then it doesn't happen. I will be your biggest support system. I will be patient. I will do everything in my power to make sure that that blueprint actually becomes a building, that it becomes a home, that it becomes whatever it is that we're trying to build here for you, for me, for us. It doesn't have to be partnership shit either. It is genuinely just if people come with some sort of intent and they take their time to fucking sit there and put me through, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to see this, I want to ba 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 ba, and then I see that their priorities are way off and they keep postponing and they keep procrastinating because now, ooh, shiny, ooh, a piece of candy, ooh, this, and that. Fuck you for wasting my time, or making me invest in something that you wanted but don't do shit about. So now I'm the fucking woodworker. I'm the carpenter. I'm the mason. I'm the fucking everything in this project. While you sit back as the fucking architect and hoping that I'm building something great for you. While you can sit in your cozy ass office while I'm going through rain and fucking snow and storms and all kinds of shitty weather mentally to put my effort in to your project. Fuck that. You're not on their fucking payroll. You're not hired to do a job. And if you allow yourself to be that, and I've been dumb enough to do that recently too, then you're only playing yourself because they're paying you fucking pennies, man. And hey, it's not to say that you can't do a good deed. It's not to say that you can't be a support system. That's not to say that you should expect something in return every single time. The main focus here is if they're not willing to put in an effort to something they include you in, and they're telling you that they want to do these things and they don't pull the fucking weight, you're a fool. Because not only are you building for them, they will also take ownership of it because, well, they did the blueprint, right? be like going out and buying a car. And then when you show it off, you say, yeah, I built that. Yeah, I designed that. Yeah, like, that's an original me. No, it's fucking not. There's a manufacturer behind it, workers, machinery, all kinds of shit that has contributed to you having the luxurious fucking option of getting into this car, twist your fucking key or push a button, put it in gear and drive. The only thing you fucking have to do is sit in it and use it. Don't be a shelter to somebody who didn't even fucking put in an effort to get out in the rain and help. Because they didn't care enough about you. You could have gotten sick. You could have pulled a muscle. You went through all the hardship, all the hard work, all the failures, but also all the success. Only for what? To sit and watch them be happy and you still need a fucking invitation to come inside? Despite the fact that you fucking built all that? The thing is, if someone hires you and says, this is our project, this is for us, but they then decide to not give you a key, it was never for you in the first place. There was no us. You were a hired contractor. And once the assignment was done, they kicked you off the lot, and you sat back with nothing. There's no paycheck in the world, in my opinion, that covers the emotional imbalance of that. Because imagine this, every single time you've been looking forward to try and get into this fucking thing, right? You've been so proud when you were done and you were looking at it and you were excited for the future. Now all you can do is look at it and be like, oh, yeah, I remember that. You see, nothing bad comes without a little good, and nothing good comes without a little bad. The good in that bad, that you should learn your lesson, and either you should up your fee so you're not doing that again, or you should understand and look at the piece of work that you did and say, shit, if I can build that good for someone who didn't fucking deserve it, imagine what I can do for someone who actually pays me well. Imagine what I can do for someone who actually shows gratitude and appreciation. Lessons. Love is not difficult. It's the small things. Like telling somebody you love them here and there. Making sure that they know you're always there. Making sure that they understand that they might not be able to fill you might not be able to fill every fucking need that they have, but you will do everything in your power that you can, or you'll do anything in another avenue to make sure that you can cover for them. I guess that's too much to ask nowadays. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap this up. You can see I'm about 45 minutes in, so I'm not mad at it. It's a pretty good length for a little bit of a Yabarino video. So I will wrap this up by saying SoundCloud in the description, Discord in the description, Twitch in the description. I don't know about Twitch. We'll see. I do love to talk to a live audience, but I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, appreciate you being here as always. Thank you for watching. If you made it to the end, again, if you want to be part of the little thought experiment, feel free to leave a comment or hit me up on Discord. We'll have a chat. I hope you have a good day, evening, night, where whatever it is and wherever it is you are when you watch this, and I will see you next time. Bye.